Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And what a gorgeous early fall day around all of north central Washington today. This view coming via our Sky-Fi tower cameras located at Omi Gardens. Looking back down at the Columbia River, hardly a cloud in the sky today. Not much wind to speak of, with high temperatures mainly in the mid-70s. We did see some scattered upper 70s for high temperatures today. But I'll tell you what, as we move into the rest of the week, this is our situation right now in our satellite picture. You can see a perfect look at what a ridge of high pressure looks like. That's all the clouds moving over that high pressure that's off the coast of British Columbia. So that's bringing us very clear skies and warm weather. But just to the south, an area of low pressure that will slide in under the ridge over the next probably 48 hours or so. And that could bring us some wet weather by the time we get into the upcoming weekend. We'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Two local bridge projects will get underway overnight, which could impact motorists. And tomorrow night, the city of Chelan will hold a town hall meeting, which will seek public input on a variety of topics, including the possible purchase of land on Chelan Butte. But first, we begin tonight. A Chelan Falls-based company that manufactures specialized wildland firefighting equipment received the Entrepreneur of the Year award at today's Guada Innovator of the Year luncheon. Co-Acture owners Kevin and Kyle Cox were honored today, along with several other award recipients at the well-attended luncheon held at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Ncwlife's Steve Hare talked to Kevin Cox prior to the award announcement.
Yeah, so we build equipment for U.S. Forest Service, primarily wildland firefighters, some search and rescue as well. So they're personal protective equipment, that classic yellow shirt and green pants we all see the firefighters wearing out there. We build those right in Chelan Falls from start to finish, everything right there.
So what's different about this product?
We're the only ones in the world actually that do venting in our clothing. That's one of the #1 injuries for firefighters is heat exhaustion. So we're the only company that does that. Our fit's very different and our style is different from the last 40 years of the Forest Service. So innovation.
So how are you selling the product?
We do mainly, we have distribution, but we also sell direct online to a big e-commerce presence. We're not so much a retail environment, but anybody is welcome to come by and take a look.
Obviously trade intensive, the firefighting industry.
Yes.
So what kind of growth are you seeing in your business?
Big growth right now. Yeah, over the last probably 5 years, double digit every year.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's just exploding right now. So we're hiring.
You're hiring right
Yeah.
now, is that right?
Yeah.
So how do we get in touch with you?
Either our website, just coacture.com, or you can just call up to the shop and ask for Kevin.
The Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance hosted the 18th annual event, which recognizes companies, individuals, students, and teachers for their accomplishments in the field of science, technology, engineering, and math. Also receiving awards were I Spy Fire as the Innovative Technology Business of the Year. Foothills Middle School VEX Robotics Team Coach Bridget Wiegand won the STEM Educator of the Year award. Porter Lumpkin with the Wenatchee Valley College takes home the Problem Solving Innovator of the Year honors. And Team FBI, a group of Foothills Middle School students, won the Future Technology Leader of the Year award. Well, two bridge projects to tell you about tonight that will affect traffic. Beginning tonight at 9 o'clock, work on the Peshastin Bridge will begin with crews doing repair work to the deck. The work is expected to last until around 6 a.m. Thursday morning. Officials ask motorists to avoid the area or plan for traffic delays as the bridge will be one lane with flaggers directing traffic. Also beginning tomorrow, Washington State Department of Transportation dive team will be performing a bridge inspection on the Sleepy Hollow Bridge. Traffic flow will be affected, but DOT will have flaggers on site to direct traffic. Tomorrow night, the city of Chelan will hold a town hall meeting which will seek public input on a variety of topics, including the purchase of recreational land and waterfront access, affordable housing, and an update on the Wooden Avenue Bridge project. The proposal to purchase 1,000 acres of land on Chelan Butte may be the hot button issue of the night. The town hall meeting is from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Senior Center in Chelan. Coming up next, the opening of a new stretch of eastbound I-90 traffic east of Snoqualmie Pass marked the halfway point of the 15-mile highway improvement project. Legislation intended to delist gray wolves from protection under the Endangered Species Act advanced in the U.S. House of Representatives earlier today. And the Kittitas County Conservation District gives us tips for slowing the spread of a fire if it should reach your property. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLife Evening News.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Hello, and what is up? Welcome to Career Shift Business Edition. I've got 3 choices: certificate, associates, and bachelor's. I'm going associates. And I'm enrolled. Stay alert, this game moves pretty fast. Whoa, exams almost did me in. I'm back on track and picking up speed. And I'm in the home stretch. Degree complete, and I'm ready to go to work. Charter helped me make that career shift. Your turn.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. In another news, the opening of a new stretch of eastbound I-90 traffic east of Snoqualmie Pass marked the halfway point of the 15-mile highway improvement project. The highway's wildlife overpass is also nearing completion with some walls, fencing, and vegetation left to be installed. Here's a look at the new traffic lanes and the wildlife bridge.
Top of the wildlife overcrossing over I-90, which is part of the major improvement project we've been working on since 2009, and it's just east of Snoqualmie Pass. It's part of the 15-mile improvements that we've been working on between Hyack and Easton, and today kind of marks the halfway point as we open up the new eastbound lanes and then start finishing up this wildlife overcrossing. Currently 2 lanes are open, but we have to do a little more construction, but by wintertime we'll have those 3 eastbound lanes open, so a 6 new lane highway in time for winter. So the overcrossing, we still have to finish some of the walls that will kind of create a barrier from wildlife and the roadway. That should be finished by November, and then next spring we'll come back in and put up fencing along I-90 that will go up and over the crossing to kind of funnel wildlife in, as well as do some vegetation that's native to this area.
Legislation intended to delist gray wolves from protection under the Endangered Species Act advanced in the U.S. House of Representatives earlier today. The legislation, sponsored by Republican Sean Duffy of Wisconsin and Dan Newhouse of Washington, would return management of gray wolves to state control. Management of gray wolves was transferred from the state to the federal level following 2 2014 U.S. District Court decisions that reinstated gray wolves under the protections of the Endangered Species Act. Newhouse said the Department of Fish and Wildlife has been asking for the federal delisting since 2013 and says the best available science shows that the gray wolf has recovered and is no longer endangered. Well, with wildfires once again ravaging much of north central Washington this year, homeowners are reminded to build a good defensible space around your house to protect it from wildfire. This informational video from Kittitas County Conservation District is full of tips for slowing the spread of a fire if it should reach your property.
Building defensible space in our area is essential to reducing risk, but your defensible space is unique to your land. Slope and vegetation influence fire behavior in your space. Fire moves faster uphill by preheating the fuels ahead of it. Tree, shrub, and grass heights determine flame lengths. The height of the fuels on the slope influence the fire behavior. Vegetation density determines whether or not the fire is able to ladder up into the crowns of the trees. This vegetation can be considered ladder fuels. We want to keep fires low to the ground and not in the trees, especially on the hillsides. Large, dense clumps of trees and shrubs can burn for hours, generate a lot of heat, and throw embers, spreading the fire farther and faster. Think of these concepts as you look at the 3 zones of defensible space on your property. The area most at risk to embers is your house and the 5 feet around it. This is Zone 1. In addition to using non-combustible building materials on your home, you should also apply a non-combustible buffer material around your home, like gravel. Any flammable materials must be kept away from the wall exteriors. This includes mulches, flammable plants, leaves and needles, firewood piles, and even patio furniture.
You're watching the Ncwlife Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete North Central Washington weather forecast right after this.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
Welcome back to the Ncwlife Evening News. Lower than desired salmon runs continue to challenge recovery efforts in north central Washington. In tonight's features story, a fisheries biologist with the Upper Columbia Salmon Recovery Board reports that endangered fish populations are falling short of the 30-year goals that were established about 15 years ago.
Both our spring chinook and steelhead are at some of their all-time lows over the last 20 years or so, especially the fish coming back this year. We've had especially low returns because if you remember 3 years back we had that really big drought in the region in 2015. So the fish that were born in the gravel that year just didn't do as well. A lot less of them survived that drought conditions. And when they went out to the ocean, they just didn't survive as well there either. So this year's return of Chinook in particular is fairly low. The fishermen in the region will know that, given that the summer Chinook fishery closed pretty early. The Wenatchee is going to be closed in a few days, and that's not common. And summer Chinook aren't even listed under the Endangered Species Act. And the spring Chinook also just didn't do as well as they have in previous years. So we're going through a low period. Waiting for ocean conditions to turn the corner. We've had some better conditions in our local rivers with higher snowpack, a little bit cooler summers than in previous years. So we're hanging in there, and our hope is really just that all the work we've done in terms of restoring our local rivers will continue to support those fish when they do come back, and make sure that we get more fish out of our local streams.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. But before we get to the details of that, let's take another beautiful look outside our weather window and our almanac today. It was a beautiful day, 75 degrees. Our high so far today. We were supposed to get to around 80, didn't quite get there. 75 our high, 51 our overnight low. Pretty much in the ballpark where we should be for this time of year. 72 is normal. 49 are a normal overnight low. 86, it was a hot one back in 2003. 37, our record overnight low set in 1972. No new precipitation over the past 24 hours, so our year-to-date total remains the same at 4.41 inches. A sunrise this morning was 6:53, and the sun will set tonight at 6:50. Let's take a look now at what we can expect over the next 5 or 6 days as we take a look at our surface loop. Big area of high pressure. Remember, it's clockwise rotation around an area of high pressure, and that continues to bring us clear skies. Lots of clouds and colder weather, though, coming on the back side of that high pressure ridge, and that's cooling off parts in Montana and North Dakota. But by Friday, we could see some breezy conditions in the afternoon, but beautiful before an area of low pressure moves up the Pacific coast, and that could bring us a chance for increasing clouds and maybe an isolated sprinkle as we move through Saturday. Sunday will be our best chance for rain as that low pressure brings widespread moisture all across Washington state. Look at that, even a little bit of snow in the northern part and a lot of snow over to our east into Montana. The good news, by Monday, we transition back into beautiful weather once again as that ridge of high pressure once again builds over the northwest, Pacific Northwest, bringing us sunny skies. Not quite as warm weather as we saw this week, but still very nice for this time of year. Tuesday, more of the same, mostly sunny and mild conditions. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Overnight tonight, we will drop down to a beautiful overnight low of 55 degrees. We'll see 81 for a high on Thursday, 54 the overnight low on Thursday night. As we get into Friday, sunny, a north breeze, remember about 5 to 15 miles an hour. High temperature Friday at 78, 77 as we kick off the weekend on Saturday with increasing clouds late in the day. On Sunday, our best chance for rain, 30% chance of showers on and off throughout the day on Sunday with a high of 72. And then back to the nice weather as we clear out on Monday in 73, mostly sunny and mild on Tuesday with a high then of 71. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, your sports update with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLife Evening News continues. Stay with us.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLife channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. It was a busy night in high school sports around the region. Let's start off on the soccer pitch with the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard. Wenatchee and Eastmont both victorious last night. The Wildcats shut out Davis 3-0 to improve to 4-1 and remain tied with the Panthers for first in the Big Nine standings. Wenatchee, meanwhile, got the better of West Valley in the Apple Bowl by a final of 3-1. Caribou Trail League last night, Chelan traveled to Okanagan, earned a 1-0 victory. Cascade earned its first win of the season, winning at Cashmere 3-1. On the B side, Brewster had no trouble shutting out Manson 5-0. The Bears now 3-0-1 in Central Washington. 2B play, Liberty Bell leads the pack at 4-0 after an 11-0 win over Oroville. Well, last night was an electric crowd on hand and a big crowd on hand at Eastmont High School, where the Wildcats hosted Wenatchee in a Big Nine volleyball match. The back-and-forth contest would go the way of the Panthers in the opener. Megan Wolf would provide the game winner. Excitement abound for the Panthers in purple there. Eastmont would turn the tables as Britt Vaughn came to life with the big kill. And the Wildcats would win the second by a final of 25-18. It was a back-and-forth contest all night long last night. I was joined by Cleet Wise on the play-by-play here on the Ncwlife channel. Fun one to call. Wildcats, after the going into the third, Vaughn would be serving with a game on the line. And her service looked good to start with, but just goes out. Wenatchee lets it go, and the Panthers win the third 25-20. Eastmont would battle back from behind in the fourth game and surpass Wenatchee to force a fifth and final game. They win it 25-20. So to the fifth we would go, and let's go to the call as we had it here on the Ncwlife channel. A point to Eastmont would win it here for the Wildcats. Service by Osborne. And the serve across. Down low goes Voschel. Ream gets it. Vaughn gets it across. Back line to Dexter. Up front to Redmond. Now the kill attempt, and it is out! And the point goes to Eastmont! And the Wildcats knock off the Panthers in the first meeting of the season here at Eastmont tonight, winning the fourth by a final of 15-12. How about that?
I don't know what it is when we play Wenatchee, but it's like after the third game, all the girls look at me and go, why do we always go 5 with them? It's like some kind of hoax or jinx, I don't know, but I'm just very proud of them for coming out on top, and they did it because they stayed together. They played together and they finished the ball.
Eastmont coach Corinne Davis joining us following the hard-fought 3-2 win for the Wildcats as they improved to 2-1 in Big Nine play. Wenatchee fell to 2-1 with the loss. Another action last night, it was Cascade shutting out Cashmere 3-0. Chelan blanked Okanagan 3-0. Manson shut out Tonasket 3-0, and Brewster beat Waterville Mansfield by a final of 3-1. At the Eastmont YMCA Aquatic Center yesterday afternoon, Eastmont hosted Wenatchee in a Big Nine swim meet, and it was the second swim of the meet that really made the difference in this one. Wenatchee finished 1-2-3 in the 200 freestyle, with Brooklyn Dressel winning it in front of teammates Alice Eifert and Katya Kazalina. The Panthers would hold on the lane from there and hold on to the victory with a 119-67 meet victory. The Wildcats did come back to win the final swim of the 400 free relay behind Eminat, Carlin Kelly, Rosie Ramos, and Olga Maria. Wenatchee improved to 4-0 on the season with the victory. Wenatchee Wild begin a 3-game trip in Canada tonight against the West Kelowna Warriors. Wenatchee's off to a 4-2 start and is leading the interior division of the BCHL. West Kelowna 3-3. Teams met just 11 days ago. Wild coming out on top of that one 4-2. Well, the Mariners used 26 players, 10 of which pitchers in last night's game against Oakland, and it would be the final substitute of the game that would make the biggest difference. Backup catcher Chris Herman hit a walk-off 2-run home run at the bottom of the 11th to help Seattle beat the A's 10-8 at Safeco. It was his second homer as a Mariner, 24th in his 7-year Major League career. Herman's heroics came after a rough start for Seattle's Mike Leake. He had his shortest outing of the season, lasting only an inning and a third after being shelled for 6 runs on 8 hits, 9 guys out of the bullpen. Pretty much held things in check. Alex Colomé got the win by pitching a scoreless top of the 11th. Nelson Cruz, Gene Segura, and they all went deep for Seattle, who finished the season series with Oakland tonight. Felix Hernandez on the mound against Edwin Jackson. Also in the American League West last night, earlier in the night, Houston beat Toronto 4-1 behind Alex Bregman's 2-run home run. Then the Astros, back in their team hotel, became big Mariner fans suddenly as Seattle, if they knocked off Oakland, Houston would clinch the American League West.
And that one's hit deep to right. That'll do it. Pinch hitter Chris Herman with a 2-run homer, and the Mariners defeat the Athletics.
was the Astros' 100th win of the season. Meanwhile, Shohei Ohtani, Taylor Ward, and Caleb Cowart collected RBIs in a 4-run six as Angels beat Texas 4-1. That's sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.